Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and I have so many videos I want to do, but I never have the energy to do them. But I'm going to do one today. I was going to do this yesterday, and I tend to do this on my YouTube anniversary. Yesterday was 11/11/22 or 2022, which was my 3-year YouTube anniversary. I was going to do this video, and then I fell asleep. So, I was just like, nope. And so today I'm going to do, and I usually do this same video. I did that first year. I couldn't find it for last year. I'm like, I know I did it, but I can't find it. But I usually do decks that throughout the year that gave me the feels. And this year it's a very specific decks that came into my collection this year, that gave me the feels. So I have 10 decks and then a caveat. And I had a very hard time narrowing it down because I had so many good decks this year. Far fewer than the last 2 years I've been collecting decks or getting decks. But when it all came down to it, I wound up with 5 and 5. 5 Tarot, 5 Oracle, which is very weird because I thought it would be mostly Tarot. So yeah, without further ado, these are decks that gave me the feels. It made me feel some type of way in the year, when I got them, or they're decks that came into my collection this year that gave me some kind of feels. So, and they're in no particular order. First off, and I made a pouch for it. I actually made a pouch for this way before I ever got this deck, and it actually fits in the pouch perfectly. This is the Gaian Tarot. I've trimmed and edged it. It did come with these huge borders around it. They're still huge cards, but they were even larger, with silver gilding. And I'm like, no. And so I took the gilding off, took the bigger borders off. You can see it still kept a little micro border on the back. And then I edged it in this lavender purple to match the flowers here, which came out perfect. And they're upside down, of course. I got this deck thinking I just wanted I wanted to trim and edge it. Really, to be honest, I thought the cards were okay. And that I was going to trim it and edge it, and it would just be a fun little project for me to do. And then I may never even look at the deck. But there's always a reason why I get a deck. Whether I know it or not, there's always a reason. This deck I fell madly in love with. The book itself, especially with the teacher, the Hierophant, is the first card I pulled from this deck. The book gives you descriptions on every single thing in the picture. Why he's holding the flower. Why he's propped up against a tree. It was just mind-blowing. And I'm like, what is happening right now? And it's so gorgeous. So gorgeous. That, like, this 5 of water is beautiful. I fell madly in love with it. And it gave me all kinds of feels. I used it for quite a bit of time after I first got it. It was stunning. Stunning. Stunning deck. And I love how well the trimming came out that I did. It came out so perfect. But yeah, that is the Gaian Tarot. Again, it's one of those decks I was like, ooh, project. And then I got it and I'm like, whoa. It feels like a watery deck to me. So it kind of really got me in connection with the emotions that I had decided not to get in touch with. And then I think the pouch came out perfect coloring for it. So yeah, that is deck number 1. Deck 2, and I made a pouch for it. Cloth pouch, it's horrible. Ignore it. This is Soul Cats by Lisa Robertson, and Adam Ohlers did the artwork. It is a Llewellyn publication. The Gaian Tarot is a Red Feather publication. But I got this deck as soon as I saw that it was Adam Ohlers' artwork, because he did the Smoke Ash and Embers, he did the Oak Ash and Thorn, and I love kitties. And I'm like, of course I'm going to buy this deck. It was like $25 for the big box set with the huge book. I love this moon card. It's my second favorite moon card ever. And then I got it, and I could not stop using this deck. I used this deck probably longer than any deck I've had in my collection to date. From the time I got it to the time I actually decided to switch it out to something else. It reads so masterfully and so beautiful and so sweet, so gentle, just like my Oak Ash and Thorn, just like my Smoke Ash and Embers. I feel like it's more versatile because it's mass market. I can pick it up anytime I want. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful deck. And I paired it with an Oracle deck that I'm going to show you here soon. I could not stop using these two decks together. It was amazing. All the readings were fantastic. It was wonderful. So then we have, and I made a pouch for it. Was not going to put this in my top 10. It is the Mariel Mass Market Edition, second edition. It's got gilding on the side, silver gilding. There's the backs. Everybody knows this deck. Everybody either has this deck, has had this deck, or at least knows of it. I was not going to put it in my top 10 because I haven't used it all that much. But what I have used of this deck has been profound. Like, I don't know why that's upside down. That's weird. What is that? Seven of Swords? Of course it is. Seven of Swords has kind of been stalking me lately. Weird. I had to forego the guidebook to really dive into this deck because me and the guidebook don't mesh well. The deck, however, and I do. And it's deep. It's insightful. I bought this when my grandmother passed in February. I had been on the fence of buying this deck forever because there's a lot of nudity in it and a lot of triggering cards for me. And I feel like once she passed, she was encouraging me to buy it. And that was, for those reasons, was exactly why I needed to buy it. And so I bought it. And I've had a few readings with it. It's one of those decks that it's like it's a heavy meal. So in order to digest it all, it takes a while to digest it. So you don't use this deck as often because you're still digesting the previous, whatever reading you did. Which is why, yeah, I haven't used this deck that often, but what I have used has been profound. And so for that reason, it does belong in my top 10 because, I have an emotional connection with this deck because of my grandmother, and some other stuff that went down, with some readings I've had. And, I wasn't going to put it in my top 10 just because I haven't used it that much as the rest of these decks, but for the profound readings I've had, that's why it belongs in this top 10. So that's 3 decks. So we have deck 4. This is the Mass Market MJ Cullinane, The Guardian of the Night Tarot, by Hay House. Beautiful book, beautiful deck. I was not going to edge it, and I found the color exactly like this pink there. It came out perfect. And then it started chipping, and so I had to trim. I had to edge it. This deck was shocking to me. It's, even when it was an indie deck, it was on my list of decks to get. Of all her decks, I wanted this and the Grimalkin Tarot. I have the Grimalkin Tarot as well. And I just never got it. And then it came out mass market. I'm like, well, it's half the price, so I might as well get it. So I got it, and oh my word. The readings I've had with this, because it's an all animal deck. Look at that. It's stunning. It's an all animal deck, but at the same time, wow. Like, it's brilliant. It makes you think outside of the norm of, to me, this deck makes me think outside the norm of what I would see in a typical RWS. And for that, it's in the top 10. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's like $24. It's well worth it. It's amazing. And it's gotten me in touch with some pretty deep emotions, which I was not expecting from this deck. So that's deck 4. Deck 5, and we're doing tarot first if you haven't noticed. I put it in this pouch, and it's one of my newer decks. I cannot stop playing with this deck. I don't know if it's because of the season or what, but I have not... Why is it all jacked up? Have not been able to put this deck down at all since I got it at the end, or in October. It is the Trick or Treat Tarot. I love it so much. I love it. I'm trying to figure out if I should edge it in this green, the purple, or orange. If you guys have edged this deck, let me know what you've edged it in, or if you want to do, if you've done all those colors, or what colors you've edged it in. We don't know. I don't know. I'm having a hard time deciding. But this is like my childhood, the happy times of my childhood in a deck. It's so hilarious. It's so beautiful. The readings I've had with this are just, what? Like, you're a fun little kitschy deck, and it's not. They've been profound, and they've been emotional, and I think this could also be used as a childhood deck as well. But I've also used it for mediumistic readings. I love this Chariot. My soul card is a Chariot. That's a beautiful card. There's been some hard-hitting cards in here for me. And I just think that despite the fun-loving nature of this deck, if you're getting a darker reading out of it, or profound readings out of it, it's worth it. And it is a Llewellyn publication also, which means it's a big box, big book, and it's amazing. So that's on my tarot, guys. Next we have... now we're getting into some really deep, emotional, like, hard-hitting. A couple of those were hard-hitting, but the Oracle decks I got this year have been like, what is happening? We're going to start off with the Woodland Wardens, which is the deck I paired with my Soul Cats. This is by Jessica Rue. It is by Angel's Meal Publishing. It is a mass market deck. I paid like $14 when it first came out for this deck. It is so freaking amazing. So amazing. I love the backs. The backs scream Oak, Ash, and Thorn. And then when I I bought this for the intention of pairing it with my Oak, Ash, and Thorn, which I've yet to do because something one day told me to pair it with my Soul Cats, and I've not paired it with anything else since because it was so amazing, so brilliant. These two decks, the Soul Cats and this, I have used longer than probably any deck I've gotten in my collection at one stretch of time. As soon as I got them both in around the same time, I could not stop using them together. For like a month and a half, I used nothing but these two decks. And they were so freaking dead on, so accurate, so creepily accurate. And the fact that they're both beautiful little, pretty little animal decks is kind of weird because you wouldn't think the depths of where these decks took me. And yeah, they were just amazing. I love them. And that's all she wrote for the Woodland Wardens. Next we got, and I was shocked, I got the mini version just because it was cheaper. I'm like, because I really wasn't on my list for any amount of time. I was just like, I'll get it. I'll get it. The mini, and it's the Roots and Wings. And then I'm like, oh my God, did you see that? Something just flew off there. And, it wasn't in my reality, but on camera. That's weird. The shuffle's great. I think this is my first indie deck on here. Yeah. But this is an indie deck. This is the Mini Roots and Wings. It's simple, yet powerful. And it pairs with so many decks. It's very versatile, and I love it for that. Love it. Love it. Love it. For a while there, I would pair this deck with other decks, and I would do like a random, what is my higher self? And because of this deck, and when I did that, I've done that with every other deck and oracles that I paired with each week. I would ask, what does the universe, my higher self, and my guides want me to know today? And I would pull a card for each. And every tarot deck I paired this with, it matched up to the card I had pulled for that question for each one of those perfectly. And I'm like, I could just use this card deck for any tarot deck I want. It goes with everything. And yeah, it was amazing. Amazing. So next we have Wisdom of Haviz Oracle. It is a U.S. Games publication. This is a magnetic box. It is, I think it was like $19 on Amazon. But oh my God. Haviz was a, oh my gosh, he's a poet. Oh my gosh, I can't remember where. And it's gilded gold. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. Beautiful deck. Some of the readings I've had with this were just so intense. I was like crying. This card, amazing. I'll have to link below the walkthrough of this deck. But yeah, it's stunning. It's stunning. Persia. He's a Persian poet. So there's nods to Persia in here. Beautiful deck. Beautiful, beautiful deck. Amazing. So next we have I have not cut this down pretty much since I got it. Uncover Your Past Lives Oracle by Mandy Peterson. Also a indie deck. Gilded in Lavender. I'm just going to show you some of the images here. It's fantastic. I've done readings for friends. I've got this like in September, October. I've done so many readings for people with this deck. It's not even funny. I don't know why they're all mixed together. But yeah, it's amazing, 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 amazing. And I'm kicking myself that I put it off buying this deck so long. Yeah, it's amazing. And it's gave me incredible insight. The 2 past lives I've done on myself kind of tied into previous past life readings I've done for myself. So they kind of matched up. And then I made my last deck I made a pouch for is the Cartes Divinatoires d'Allegoriel. This is a mass market French deck. I got it on French Amazon. This deck does past life stuff. I've talked about this deck many times this year. Some of the images in this deck were in dreams I've had years ago. And then, like this door specifically. And then I did a reading, or I watched somebody with this deck online, and I'm like, are you kidding me? There's a deck already existing that is from dreams I've had years ago. And that was so profound for me. And so I got the deck, and then I've had so many profound experiences with it since then. It's crazy. So that was my 10 decks. And then I have a caveat. I have a second copy of a deck that is no longer in print, but it is the Bone Stone and Earthflesh Tarot sketchbook edition. This is like sketches, and this came off Make Playing Cards. It is the same price as the original Bone Stone and Earthflesh Tarot, which I also have. So it's $100 on Make Playing Cards, so it is quite expensive. It is their amazing cardstock. Now, I didn't get any feels from this deck this year because I've had this deck for a long time, ever since it came out. But I just wanted to show you guys one of my top 2 decks of all time is the Lightseer and the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot. And I just want to show you guys I didn't feel right doing this video without adding in the sketchbook edition that I got this year in January of the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot. It is beautiful. It is profound. As always, I got it this year. I just haven't really used this version. But the Bonestone Earthflesh Tarot is one of my favorite decks, so I had to add that in as a caveat to my decks that I got this year. That gave me some type of feels for my YouTube anniversary, which was yesterday, 11/11/2022. Today's 11/12/2022. If you guys have any questions, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And you guys have a good night. Bye.